Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Vatroh back with another video today, and if you do enjoy today's video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to come check out the stream and tell me how you are doing. We can talk all things Apex, all things life, all things competitive Apex, whatever you want to talk about, I am here for. Appreciate your guys' support, and let's get into the video. Alrighty, so here we have a gameplay of mine. If you guys haven't been in the streams, I've been recently solo queuing ranked. Try to get the experience because I've actually never done it. I solo queue pubs all the time, but I've never done ranked because I've always looked at it like, dude, that'd be way too hard, like way too hard on the mental. But it's kind of my favorite thing to do in Apex right now. So I have a lot of VOD material to go over, but in today's video, I just kind of want to structure it. Basically, I'm going to play these fights that happen in this game with these two teammates, and then I'm going to show another game where I had two teammates that were like really on their shit. So that way you guys can kind of compare and hear my thoughts on what I'm doing in fights, kind of what I'm looking at, and also what I think my teammates should be looking at. Okay, so unfortunately, my teammates weren't speaking English at this time, and so I didn't really know that they were running up on any enemies, but as you guys can see, I'm far behind. This Vantage goes down to 1 HP. This Valkyrie's really weak. I see that this Vantage is healing, so I'm like, okay, the Vantage should be okay. I really don't want her to go down, but luckily, I'm able to get the trade on the kid who killed the Vantage, instantly start popping a bat. I'm getting fried, so I just jumped down. I was heading down anyways because I want this person to fall. This Vantage shouldn't have gone back up top to reach out by themselves because now look at their health. So now I'm sketch about even rezzing because if I'm that team up top, after that Vantage went up there, I'm dropping down. So after the Valkyrie and I got the knock, we're both at kind of a standstill, and I happened to hear that the team was rezzing above. So with that being said, I know that my teammates can heal, but I'm going to try my best to cancel, their reset. And they ended up getting third-partied here. So here I am kind of bullying back the kid who absolutely lasered all of us with his Rampart minigun. And as you can see here, I'm pinging, that there's an enemy this way. I'm chasing after, but I don't think that my teammates follow me. Okay, I actually lied. As you guys can see, both my teammates followed me, and I have no comms at this point. They are just following me because I'm using my pings actively and trying to really be the best teammate I can be. As you can see, I help them out, so maybe they have that more faith in me going forward in this game. So next, I'm going to skip into the next fight. Okay, so here we have two teams that were fighting over here. My teammates are both taking shots at it. So I, being a solo, I just run up on the fight because I know that we have to time this third party good if we want to be able to really clean it up and keep it moving, if that makes sense. So I really like that both of my teammates are following me up. I mean, this is just a beautiful opening into the fight. My teammate shoots off that guy that was shooting at me in the back, and then they see that I got the knock, so instantly, I'm leading the way, and they're following right behind me. I'm using my ult and everything, so they know we're committing to this fight. We get this free kill on this Newcastle because, I was shooting at them, so my teammates knew I should have pinged. And then I see both of my teammates here going in to kill this last guy, so I'm like, screw it, you know what I'm saying? I'm going in with it because, listen, right here, I know, really none of us can die just in case there's a third party. And as you can see, my beautiful Vantage comes and helps me and we clean up that fight. But that was a really well executed third party by us. But I'd say the biggest thing right there was just my teammates, again, just following me up and kind of having faith in me and my decisions. Now, I definitely should have pinged more, and I definitely would have been calming if it turns out that these people did speak English. They had just been speaking Spanish only the whole time, so I assumed, they wouldn't understand anything that I was saying. But that was really good, just game awareness by my teammates, because at the end of the day, people, you really need to kind of snowball with your randoms. As much as you might think they're terrible or jackasses, whatever, you're never ever gonna really be able to 1v3 or be able to gain and win fights if you're just trying to solo wipe whole teams and not play the team game. Okay, so here there's a team under us, and we're patiently waiting for the hole to open up so we can attempt to fry them. But as you can see, the Vantage gets absolutely lasered down to 1 HP, starts popping a Phoenix kit, And then I'm like, okay, as long as these kids fly away, we should be okay. I stay up top here because listen, if I'm this team across, I'm going to try getting angles on that vantage when we fry her like that. And so now, you know, I'm getting info on this team. I'm shooting back, letting them know like, hey, you can't just bully us. As we can see, again, I'm moving up. I'm using my pings. I'm really trying to initiate the fights for my teams and find these big windows. Here, I choke this car kill. And if we get that kill right there, say if I get that kill right there, that's really... I already opened up the window, so if I were calming to these guys, I would have been telling them to pull up as soon as I was going, you know, to run up and throw my horizon Q, and they would have been able to get that trade, and we would have been able to easy wipe this team. But as you guys can see right here, I'm going to replay this. Sorry about that. I'm going to replay this. So I'm healing. I have to slow heal. The Valkyrie goes up top. Listen, this is perfectly fine for Marquis to go up here and play this top angle because somebody needs to be on the high ground so all three of them don't tank it. But what does Marquis do here that ends up leading to his death? He ends up going all the way over and overextending into not only one person, but then multiple people. And I'm over here to the left. Okay, so I have no angle on what's happening. He didn't really calm that he was doing that either. So his duo is not even right on top of him. He's more out to the right, out towards, actually, if you were look, he's more out towards this way, right? Like kind of on the same level field as me. So then he goes down and that kind of throws that opening advantage that we had. So then I come up, I get a fat beam on the lifeline. It would have been really huge, but I can't do anything with my health. So I go here, I tell my teammate, you know, I ping there, I'm batting, I stick this bat. We get the knock together on that kid. I launch the Q. I was hoping the vantage would be able to get up there. I really think at this point I'm dead. This is kind of a flex clip. This is absolutely insane. But you guys see here, I throw the heat shield down beforehand because it's going to make more sense for me to just pop these cells because I don't have a lot of time. I know two of them are up, one's down. They got a lifeline. They're going to be rezzing. And here we go. I get the 1v1. I win that. I hear the shots behind me. Cut off the LOS. I'm actually trying to shoot the kid behind it, but I do get the thirst. And what that thirst allows me to do, I was really trying to shoot the dude, the lifeline behind them. But what the thirst allows me to do, as we can see right here, is get this shield swap. So say if I would have just tried to knock the lifeline and wouldn't have thirsted the horizon that I knocked first, I wouldn't have had time to grab this shield swap simply because of the fact that I'd have to then thirst and then grab the shield swap. So with that being said, it was really, really smart of me to thirst while I was shooting at the lifeline because like it ended up that they cross paths, but you know, if the down character's right there, you might as well thirst them. And then I was able to win my 1v1 with the lifeline by jumping over the wall instead of just rechalling out, swinging left again. And now that I knocked the lifeline, I know that the last kid is somewhere over there healing, or, you know, healing shields, healing whites, because I know that this last kid is the kid that I knocked before all this popped off. And so here, I hear that Marquis gives a really good comm. He says, like, the person's coming, they're coming, and I turn around, they shoot me, I flick over, and I'm able to beam them. And unfortunately, I'm not able to get the shield swap out of the box, and we end up losing. But that just proves it because I want to say that, like, look at the damage. I have 1.8k damage. I'm not sure how much I had before going into that little 1v3 I had there. But listen, my teammates, like those fights that we were having seemed like very, very easy because we were really like coordinated and sticking together. What happened was as soon as we split up from like kind of a wolf pack, as soon as this one of us went on their own, we ended up going down and losing our game. But these two were really, really good teammates. This is just kind of to show you guys the mistakes that could lead to your eventual loss in these type of lobbies. So with watching this game, let's get into the next game where I had two teammates who were kind of taking the role that I was in this game, and you can kind of see it from like a third person POV of what I was doing in this game, because I play with a Mad Maggie who obviously isn't platinum, but you can see what they're doing in these lobbies that are making it just so easy. So let's hop right into that game. Alrighty, so as you can see, X here makes the comm that he hears people. I confirm that with my pings, and we start getting active. Listen, we both know, me and X know, that Zeus is on the other side of the wall. So Zeus also makes the comms like, hey, stay alive. I'm not going to be there for a while. And let's see how this goes down. So I believe that Zeus pulls up and goes through the first floor. Okay, so as Zeus was pulling up, they actually initiated the fight with the Horizon Q. I ended up getting pissed on, but I see that there's boxes around us because we were looting before. So I grab a good shield swap. X gets a really big 1v1 knock. And as you can see, I see that X is getting shot at. So whoever's fighting X has to be weak. And then Zeus comes up from behind and kills the other guy. But even if the last guy were to knock Zeus, say, I would have been right there to clean up the fight. And another thing that you saw was Zeus. Right after he got the kill, he doesn't go and loot. He doesn't do anything. He instantly reses his boy, his duo. And just like that, you know, the fight's done. We're able to loot up. And now we're really juiced, and we have KP going into the later games. Okay, so Zeus ended up hearing a team that ended up coming back for banners, and we ended up chasing them all the way over here. He mad Maggie balls. I used the Horizon. That's kind of busted. So right now we're just chasing a team down, but Zeus, as you guys can see, was calling the play. So I see him, you know, just full on W keying. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm riding with them. They end up trying to Valkyrie Q away. We ended up getting them. And it was very clutch because as you guys can see, I knocked the Valkyrie. So the other, say if I were to knock that Bloodhound or the other character that fell, the Valkyrie would have been able to keep flying and get away. And there's a chance that her teammates stayed attached to her and that she'd be able to res. And as you guys can see, we don't have a Valkyrie, so we wouldn't be able to chase that far. See, I just needed Zeus to IGL me around, dude. Exactly like I said. I mean, these two were really getting after it. This is kind of how I like to play when solo queuing, but maybe not to this extent just because I don't know the skill level of my teammates. That's why when my teammates want to play like this, I'm full on like, hey, you kind of lead the way. I'm just following around, you know, as a support. Kind of like how my teammates were doing in the previous game and how I was kind of leading the way, kind of like how I am in this fight as Zeus was in the previous fight. So as you can see, they get distracted by my teammates on the zipline. I come in, get the free knock, but as you guys saw there, I stalled out. I knew my teammates were going to be on the way, and I know I cannot go down. Like, I can't stress this enough, guys. You really need to play your lives, especially in the meta that we're in today because of how many third parties happen just in Apex in general, but how many third parties are happening now in this new meta. So Zeus remembered that there's a team over this way, so he's like, hey, let's go kill this team over here. And we end up running into them. They're super split. So as we can see, Zeus is trying really hard. I'm trying really hard. We're all trying really hard to kill that Newcastle. He ends up knocking the Newcastle. Or, yeah, I think he ends up knocking the Newcastle. I throw a really good ult, end up pulling in a Bloodhound from inside. And then you guys might have not seen, but X went inside our house, came through the bridge, and then came out behind this guy on the wall. So again, just beautiful execution by the teammates, you know, way to take the angles and kind of collapse all around them. Okay, see, and I gave a little homage to my teammates being cracked there for real, because they were really just W keying shit down. Like, so I was like, okay, I'm with it. So obviously we pull up, they take out this, I believe it was a Bloodhound after cracking a Valkyrie. So that Bloodhound made a really big mistake by climbing up and rechalling once his teammate got knocked, knowing that there was two over there. Meanwhile, this guy shoots at me in the side, so I'm just like, okay, I have the confidence now in this game that Zeus and X are going to win that 2v1. I can go and take this 1v1 with the Pathfinder. As long as I don't go down, we're chilling. Even if I do go down, I'll make them weak enough and they can come and wipe them. So here, we decide to start heading into zone, which, and unfortunately, I believe it was X who called, but once you got this much KP and we're kind of in the later, there's only 5 other teams besides us, it's smart to get into this end game and kind of, you know, figure out how you're going to play it. Okay, so right here, I want to point this out really quick. So right here, both of my teammates are over to the left, and I'm like, okay, we kind of need a spot. I hear shots coming from those buildings kind of over here if you guys see my cursor. And I know there's a team up top on down beast here, so we can't do anything about that. But I stress enough. I ping once, I ping twice, and then I see like, oh, Zeus, like, come on, dude, come on. And then I ping again, kind of annoying. But then Zeus, he's like, hey, I see your ping. But I just wanted to stress really hard that, hey, dude, we can just come and chill under here. And they ended up, I guarantee you, if these two would have known about being able to go in here, they would have instantly gone under here. But I'm glad that I kind of annoyed them and stressed the pings a little bit, because they just happened to not know that you could play under here. So from here, the zone pulls over here. So what I'm thinking is, okay, we have to find a rotate in where we won't get griefed, and you know, there's a team above us as well that can shoot down on us. So this is kind of a very, very hard zone you'd think to rotate into, but I'm going to show you how we do that. So as you can see, X and Zeus are kind of wiling out, and Zeus is telling X to back up because of the team up top there. Okay, so I was actually over here to the right, and a whole 3-man team swung me. So I ended up running back to X and Zeus. Thankfully I did, because a team is trying to come out of that house is there into the zone. But I realized zone's coming, dude. Fuck this. We gotta go. We gotta go. I find us a comfy little spot to play down here that I remembered that we could play. And as you guys can see, look at where I'm pinging, okay? I'm pinging here because there's still that team up top here, right? But we know that we have to move over here eventually to zone. But I think that there's a full 3-man here, and there's a team up top above us, which I do know. So if we try to cross or get in a fight with this team, the team above us is going to shoot down. But I saw that his teammate, you know, Zeus was talking about his teammate still missing. So I figured, okay, his teammate must be this solo Loba that's over here, or it must be this Loba that's over here. So I take the initiative and I start pinging again. I'm like, hey, we need to go over here, you know. Luckily, the team up top, I believe, is either fallen off at this point, or they're looking down to the right. We run across here, and now we're in a really, really good spot for in-game. So I see that X gets broken. I fry him through the smoke, and then I'm like, hey, okay. Wow, look at these free beams. Okay, and then I see this dude. I'm like, shit, bro. I start pinging like crazy to my teammates, right? I'm ripping this dude's knock shield, not to really kill the dude behind him, but to make sure I get this thirst, right? And then Rev Totem goes in. I'm throwing the thing because X is already in there. It's pretty much GG's at this point because they got Rev entered on. If they wouldn't have got Rev entered on, we would have just had to clear wipe them with time. This team would have pinched them as well. Here, I know they're all 50 HP coming out of the Rev Totem, so I ego chow like a maniac. They take care of the other two while I take care of them. And honestly, that was really, really a textbook fucking game by my teammates. They carried the fuck out of me. Zeus was absolutely leading the way. But this is kind of like a POV of what you should be doing if your teammates are kind of aggressive like this. But if your teammates aren't, you can kind of lead the way, kind of like how Zeus did, and I followed him up. Or try to be the one leading them up and making sure that, okay, you also have to take into account that your teammates need to be kind of like down with whatever you're doing, right? So if you're following your teammates, then you are the one who's down. But if you're trying to lead the way and your teammates aren't following you and it's leaving you in bad situations, just kind of bite the bullet and kind of go with the flow with them, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to win these fights in ranked, especially against 3 stacks with comms and shit who are going hard, if you're not with your team. So the biggest thing to focus, really, I want to say during these fights, and if you want to rewatch this video, kind of look at, so yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this style of content where I go through the VOD and kind of give you guys a breakdown on what I think my teammates are doing good and bad, and just kind of giving you guys real like video in-game examples of the things that I talk about, and please let me know in the comments below and I will get working on that. With all this being said, I hope you enjoy your day. I hope everything's been going good. I love you guys for real. Thank you guys so much for the support, and motherfucking blessings, people. Until next time, peace.